Hi everyone, Glenda Mollet here, and I'm not in my craft room at the moment. What you're seeing is my kitchen sink because I'm going to do my video on how to clean the ink pads. First of all, wear gloves, because if you don't, you're going to regret it, because I didn't the first time and oh my gosh. Oh, this is a really old mossy meadow, and I'm going to do it, but we'll do the Mango Melody first. So I hope you can see this. See the pad, how it's really not doing good. I'm hoping that this is going to work with this one, but we'll soon see. Running water, and you just run it under the tap and massage it. And don't worry about all the ink that's coming out. It looks like a lot, but it's really not a lot. And you can see where it's taken the ink off, but it's also taken crystals out of there. Because when you have ink, apparently there's crystals in there. All right. The water's getting hot. I'm just going to turn it down so that it's cool water instead of hot water. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. Now this one is really taking the ink out. But hopefully it's going to work. I'm just making sure that there's no ink on there. And then I'm just going to stand it up in my drainer board for my kitchen, sideways, and let it drain out. So I'll do the Blackberry Bliss next. Give it a good wash. And it was just as gross. There we are. Get that top layer off. And then you just kind of got to let it, the ink run out of it. And I'm using cool water here, not hot water. Comes off a lot easier off of the gloves than it did when I used my hands. Okay, so now that's all you need to do. And it's going to run, and I'm going to stick it in my rack and let it run out. So now let's do the Mossy Meadow. This is that one. This is one that I had replaced. I bought a new one because it was so gross. So I'm really interested to see if it's going to take all of this stuff off. We'll see. That's why you buy reinkers, because you're going to need to reink them. And I'm going to, when I get this done, I'm going to pause the video, or I'm going to end the video, because you have to let this run out for a while before you re-ink it. So I'll do part 2 after it's, see, it's really taken a lot of that out of that Mossy Meadow. This one was really bad. It almost looked like it had mold on it, but it's not mold. It's the crystals separating from the ink. So all this does is it washes the crystals off, and then you re-ink it, and you're good to go. There, looks pretty good. Give it a final little rinse off here. Set that one off to drain out. Now, I'm going to leave that overnight to drain because you have to. And I will do part 2 when they're drained. Stampin' Smiles, and bye for now. Hello and welcome back to part 2. What to do to your ink pads once you've washed them off. So this has been sitting for about maybe 2 hours. And I'm just getting some paper towel, 2 sheets of paper towel, folding it into quarters, and dabbing. This helps take out any of the water that's still in there. There's one of them. Oh, I just stuck my finger in it. So I was so diligent and put my gloves on, And then when I took my gloves off, apparently there was a hole. So I got ink all over my hands. So tonight when I do my collaboration night, I'm going to be inky. This is that old Mossy Meadow pad, and it's got a rip in it, I see. But I couldn't see that before I cleaned it. So there, see, it's getting a lot of the water out of there. Bit more paper towel. So I'm going to do this twice. And then I'll do part 3, and I'll show you how to re-ink them. It's very easy. But you want to do this so you get out as much of that water as you can. And because I had them up on their edge, see, that one came, see, there's none of that gooby stuff left on that one. That's kind of cool. But the back has got gum on it. So I'm just going to put it on there and wipe it off. Close them up. There we are. Okay, so here's the Mango Melody one. Do the same thing. Close it because it works better when they're closed. And we'll just, this one's got a lot of water. This is the one that I really took the ink out of. Yeah, get a good pair of rubber gloves. Don't wear cheap ones, as you'll regret it like I have. But at least I have colorful fingers. There we go. And I've just taken most of that water out again. There we are. So now I will do part 3 in a little bit and show you how to re-ink them again. Stampin' Smiles, and then bye for now. Hello, Glenda Mollet here, and I'm back in my craft room with session number 3 of reactivating my ink pads. So first part, I showed you how to wash them under running water. Then I showed you how to blot them after they've been standing up on end and draining. That's the word I'm trying to get. Draining for a while. And now I'm going to show you the re-inker part. So I haven't done this one. These ones I've already done. So you remember that ink pad, how it was completely white? Well, there. I've got it well inked now. I haven't tried it, but I'm going to get a stamp and we'll try it. I don't know whether I've got enough. It's a trial and error to find out if you have enough. And I'm just about out of re-inker, so I'll have to get some more. This is that Mossy Meadow one. Now remember, this one had that ugly stuff up here that kind of looked like mold. And look at that. It's an absolutely pristine, except for the fact that it's got a little tear in it. But that's got nothing to do with what I was trying to repair. There we go. So that one's done. And I'll give that a try as well. But I'm going to show you how to re-ink this Blackberry Bliss one. So here it is. It's been cleaned. It's a little light on the edges. You can see that it definitely needs to have some ink. Make sure you use the right re-inker on the right ink pad. Yeah, I just about ended up once upon a time with the wrong ink in. Excuse me, the wrong ink in there. Uh-oh, I got a tickle and I don't have my water. Okay, we're going to go through this. So then you just go back and forth and add re-inker liberally to this. You want to make sure that you get good coverage. So I'm going one way, then I'm going to turn it, quarter of a turn, and go back the other way and go over top. And I'm kind of looking to fill in all of those spots on there that the re-inker wasn't in, the other way around. And Just getting some good ink on there, like that. Now, like I said, you can't tell whether there's enough on there until you actually give it a try. But you can keep adding it until you get enough. Okay, paper towel, very important to have on hand. Put the lid back on your reinker. Ask me how I know that one. And then I have just a piece of plastic. Hubby had this hanging around in his shop, and I use it over and over. You can use an old credit card. You can use a plastic spoon. Don't use your bone folder, though, because you're going to end up staining it. And if you don't mind it staining, then it's okay. But yeah, this is what happens to them when you do this with a bone folder. So I'm just massaging it in. So I'm pushing down quite firmly on that. And you can see it's still got a bunch of water in there. That's the water bubbling up in it. But it's okay because these are water-based inks, so it doesn't matter. And if it bubbles up, then it just means that you've got a little bit too much water in there. So just kind of, oh, there's a lot. Apparently I didn't get this one done properly. So I'm just pulling off that, whatever that was, that foam on there. Giving it a massage. There we go. Wipe that off. Put that way over there so I don't get my paws in it. Get another piece, and I'm just going to go around the edges and just clean this up a bit. Just like that. There we are. Oh. And you can see just by touching it that it's pulling up that water that's hanging around there. Just like that. Oh! Get rid of that one. Now, where did that piece go? I had a little piece that I cleaned the outside off with. This is just rubbing alcohol, or hand sanitizer. You can use rubbing alcohol if you want. I just happen to have that handy. And then I'll just give that a wipe. Cleans it right up. There we go. All right. This a little clean. Get rid of that. Okay, so now just going to get some scrap paper because I don't want to use up my cardstock. Some scrap paper. And what stamp shall I use? Oh, let's just use the gum boots because they're here. They're handy. Okay, I'm going to start with the light one, just because it's easier for cleaning. Okay, so this is my Mango Melody that I've already re-inked. And we'll see, it still has a lot of water in there, but it will calm down after you stamp it a few times. And remember, this is copy paper. This isn't cardstock. Okay, now I've got a piece. We'll see how it looks. I might have to take the paper towel to it again. Just lightly tap, tap, tap. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like. I don't have a clue. Okay, well, apparently definitely needs to have some more water taken out of it. Whoops. There we go. But at least it's inking the whole thing. So what I'll do is I'll just take paper towel and blotch off that water. When I did it the first time, I actually let them sit overnight before I re-inked them. up like this so that the water ran off. I didn't do it this time, and apparently I should have. But oh well, you know, the ink pads look good. Okay, let's clean off that. We'll see what this one does. Okay, let's just do a stamping on here and see how it goes. I don't know. When I did my soft suede, it did take a few days to get it to stamp. But look at that. That's stamping a lot better already. This is that Mossy Meadow that I couldn't get it to stamp properly. See, even the second stamping is better. So that one's coming along. But I just can't get over how nice they look. So these ones, I'll probably leave them sit overnight like this and see if any of the water, because if it dries out, just take your reinker and reactivate it. It's not a big deal. You have to remember, don't be afraid of this stuff. Don't be afraid to try stuff. Now this is the one that had all that foam happening, so I have no idea what's going to happen with this one. But we'll find out. All right, get rid of that. We'll give it another stamp, ink it up. It'll come along. So it's a bit blotchy now, but take my word for it. It will calm down. It just needs to have some more water taken off of it. Okay, so to do that, I'm just going to get some more paper towel. There's a couple of sheets. Fold them into 4 and press down. And I'm pressing so that it's going to be pulling the water out. And see all that? That's still water that's in there. There we go. Now we'll take the reinker. Some more ink on there. And it may look like you've taken a lot of ink out of your ink pad, but you haven't really. When I ran it underwater, I did. Okay. This is the one that did this last time. I'm going to gently massage it in there and see it's not getting that foam that we were getting the first time around. Yeah, that's much better. Much, much better. Okay. Another piece of paper towel so I don't put this down on my table. And we'll get the cardstock back. And we'll ink this up and see what happens. See, already it's getting better. So all I have to do is just do that. Pull out the water a couple of more times. And I'll have perfect. Apparently there's something on my stamp right about there. Ooh, some mungy thing. It's almost like it's adhesive on there. So that's how you do it anyways. You just have to, once you've washed it, you just have to blot it and re-ink it and play with it until you get it. See the difference between this and that? So if I leave this overnight now, some of the water will evaporate. And if I leave them sitting up, I usually leave it like this, with some paper towel underneath so that any of the residual water will come out. And then I'll blotch and re-ink once more tomorrow, and you'll be amazed at the difference that you see. But the fact that you've resurrected your ink pads now, this one truly amazes me because it was so bad. It was ugly. And it's Mossy Meadow, and it's revived. I now have 2 Mossy Meadow ink pads. So I hope that this helps you resurrect some of your ink pads. Not all of them do this, but it is becoming more and more common because of the type of foam, I think, that they've used in here. And it's the ink separating from whatever makes the ink be suspended in the water. It's some chemical that's in there. It's what's causing it. So I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you soon in my craft room. Stampin' Smiles. Bye for now.